he talked about that, and then he just said how much conflict they was experiencing with each other, like days before the event. He was getting threats that he felt like was coming from Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z was.
Under the cold glare of institutional lights in a courtroom that had already heard more than its share of shocking confessions, Kelly leaned forward in his seat, his wrists chained, his expression eerily calm. The man once synonymous with smooth ballads and whispered seduction had nothing to sing this time. It's just 6 words delivered like a scalpel. They think I was the worst one. The silence hung, then he said it slow, clear, deliberate. But I wasn't. He was worse than me. One name followed it. Wasn't whispered, it wasn't avoided. It was spoken with venom, Sean Diddy Combs.
Attorneys for disgraced Chicago musician R. Kelly have filed a petition to the U.S. Supreme Court to review his conviction for federal.
We have seen many trials. We have watched tears fall from once untouchable icons, seen the curtain pulled back on legends, but this moment landed. Differently, this was not just one disgraced singer throwing darts from a prison bench. This was an apex predator, calling out a kingpin, a figure convicted of exploiting power, now painting himself as a minor player in a much darker theater. The air in that courtroom turned acidic, everyone knew. This was not just courtroom theater, this was a message. Kelly's legal appeal had been crushed. The Supreme Court boomed, but so did his prison sentence. With nothing left to lose, he turned the spotlight. And the heat on Diddy and what he alleged was not chaos. It was not a series of bad nights or broken relationships. It was an institution. Kelly called it that himself. An institution, something designed, engineered, systemic, if what Kelly described is even half true. We are not just talking about a man who partied too hard or lost control. We are looking at someone who, according to testimony, perfected the blueprint of celebrity. Domination not for stardom, but for control, for silence, and for access. You think I ran an operation. Kelly said he ran an institution. One insider later told us Kelly was messy. Diddy was clean, clinical, and that made him dangerous. Let us be clear. Diddy legal woes did not start with this moment for years. The rumors have lingered, the coded language, the euphemisms, the hush-hush conversations at after-parties, the NDA, passed around like party favors, but Kelly's words sliced through the noise like a siren. Suddenly Diddy was not just an accused man fighting civil suits and headlines. He was being cast as the mastermind, the puppeteer, a man who, if you believe the accusations, used his empire, his businesses, his brand, even his family fame, as camouflage for something predatory, calculated, and ruthless.
Look at Diddy, for instance. Let's take a look at him. Let's take a look at. He has videos. He has videos of the parties. Now, what I've heard, which I don't know how much of it is in mainstream media, I don't really follow the story that much, but what I've heard from friends that are attorneys, friends of mine that have represented me before, agents and so on, is there's a bidding.
The deeper we went, the uglier it got, according to multiple testimonies and filings. These were not wild parties spiraling out of control. They were choreographed, scripted according to court records and several witnesses Diddy allegedly orchestrated. Freak-off events with layers of secrecy that would make a spy agency blush. Invitation-only coded language security layers so tight that phones were locked in boxes and guests signed waivers without reading a word, rooms within rooms. Surveillance. Blackouts. A former aide claimed Diddy once installed soundproof doors in a Manhattan penthouse suite because he hated interruptions. Not because of sound, because of control. And here is where the accusations become something far bigger than personal scandal, Kelly told the court that Diddy genius was not in what he did, but in how he protected himself while doing it, the parties, the intimidation. Financial payoffs, allegedly, they all pointed to a structure, something built to be impenetrable, and maybe that is where the real fear lies, because if a man like Diddy could build something like this, how many people helped him, how many looked the other way, how many gained from the silence?
To not be involved with a famous singer, to not come out, here's the price. And that they're just selling to the individuals that are in those, this is what I heard, they're selling those videos. So if you're Tommy X, and Tommy X is a big, big movie star, and he was at some of the Diddy parties, he was in one of those bedrooms with 3 other men, and he's happily married to a woman, and blah, Tommy doesn't want that video.
That brings us to the most chilling detail. Yet the alleged black book, not a prop, not a rumor passed around in DM gossip threads, but a very real object according to at least 3 former insiders, 2 assistants, and a former road manager.